My GF, 26F, invited me, 28 meters, on a vacation across the country. She bought the tickets first as a solo trip, then invited me. We were supposed to go for 7 days, with 2 of the days being full travel days. She told me, before I bought the tickets, that she was going to meet up with some friends and a family member. 2 of the days were going to be for her family. So I figured that left 3 days for me and her friends. She didn't plan to bring me to hang with her friends cause some were girls nights or an academic mentor, so the vibes would be off. I only learned, after buying my tickets, that I only really get to spend 1.5-2 days with my girlfriend. I'm feeling left alone when she invited me on this trip, when I thought it was something we were going to experience together. Financially, I could afford it, but would have preferred to save the money and feel like I wasted my time and money to not spend time on this vacation with her. We are staying on the couch of our friend and he's the only person I'll get to hang out with. I told her how I felt already, but what should I do? TL, Dr. GF invited me on trip for a week. She made plans with friends, only spending 1.5 days together. Feeling shafted. Edit. For context, we've been dating for 6 years. M so not a fresh relationship. We both go on solo trips, so that's not out of the ordinary. No, I didn't throw a fit about her leaving solo. I've met all her family including the family member there, but she's there for business and my GF is her +1 to the events. We are both staying with one of my buds' apartment. She's staying there also. She did buy the tickets first. Intended to go solo. Extended an invite to me. I never said I couldn't go, but told her to have fun and enjoy the trip. She took that as a confirmation she's going solo and started making plans. I found an affordable flight a day later, but she already made these plans for this solo trip. She did tell me about her plans before I booked it. No, we are not breaking up. Yes, this was probably a huge miscommunication. After telling her how I felt, she offered to shave off 1 day with her cousin so spend with me. I feel like she already broke my trust and this action is only reactionary. You say to oppose things. 1. This was probably a huge miscommunication. 2. She has broken my trust, which suggests a massive betrayal. I think you need to further consider why your emotional self is feeling this as a form of betrayal when you at the same time believe it's a miscommunication. Is there a pattern where she puts time with you last? How did you end up with an invitation? Did she change her mind completely on her own and ask you to come, or did you make the request to join her? How did it break your trust if it was a miscommunication? Yeah, he's clearly not very mature. Your edit. If you concede that she planned this as a solo trip, told you her plans beforehand, and offered to adjust them to accommodate you, I'm failing to see how she broke your trust. She extended an invite to you that you didn't accept until after her plans were set. It sounds like you assumed she'd automatically cancel some plans to spend more time with you when you booked the flight. She probably figured, since you're staying with a friend of yours, that you'd be fine hanging out with a friend. When you told her how you felt, she made accommodations, but you're still unhappy because she didn't do it originally. Yes, her scheduling things was reactionary, but that's the point of discussing things with your partner. They react to your expression of feelings with an action that is intended to address those feelings. That's how someone should respond to you mentioning an issue you have. It seems like this should have been resolved after she changed her plans. The fact that it's not indicates that there's maybe something more to your resentment. How is the relationship overall? Broke your trust. She said she was going on a solo trip, extended the offer to you. You turned it down, only to book it the next day and then expect her to change her plans because of your miscommunication. Get over yourself. What should you do? You should learn to communicate more clearly. For 1. If I invited someone on a trip and they said, "Sounds like fun, I hope you have a good time," I would take that as a rejection of the invite and make solo plans. Am I reading this right? She booked first, asked if you were keen, you said no, she made plans, told you about them, you changed your mind, she kept her plans, but tried to make time for you both to hang out. It does not seem like she's done anything wrong here. What did you expect from her? She can't cancel on her friends and family because you changed your mind. Edit. I also don't see how she's miscommunicated at all. Seems like her communication has been pretty good to me. Bruh, you're out to lunch. How did she break your trust? Seriously, I need to hear this shit. It's not ideal, but maybe it's an opportunity for you to explore alone. It could still be a fun experience for you overall. Just enjoy the trip by exploring by yourself. IDK, how long have you guys been together? But it sounds that it's not been for that long. In that case, this would be just one of those awkward things that happens while you become a more official couple. If you guys been together for a long time, say 2 years or more, then I would see this as more your GF looking for some me time. In either case, the only solution is to just communicate with your GF to see what days she'll be buys and plan some things for yourself. I don't understand how she broke your trust when she hasn't done anything wrong. She was honest with you from the get-go about this trip and how it was going to be spent before you bought the ticket to go, so it wasn't as if you were entering into this blindly. After you talked to her, she even adjusted the trip to spend an additional day with you. I'm not sure what you are expecting here. For her to completely change the trip she had planned that had specific purposes to suit you because you didn't feel like figuring things out to do there? Even after she told you were welcome to come, but she was going to be busy? If that's the case, then it has nothing to do with broken trust and everything to do with you just being selfish. You don't get to throw a pity party that she isn't changing all of her predetermined plans you knew about before agreeing to come because they don't suit what you want. Bud, she sees you every day, literally. If she planned a whole trip across the country for work and or to spend time with her friends and family, then that should take priority, especially if she doesn't see them often. I personally wouldn't have gone, or would have went with her, but understood that we might get a good day or two to hang out, and I don't mind doing some exploration on my own while she's out with friends/family. Not trying to bash you, since I know it might suck to feel alone for 50-60% of a trip, but you also have to make the best of the trip and not sit around doing nothing just because she's not with you. What should I do? You should work to enjoy this vacation as much as possible. Maybe your girlfriend should alter her plans. Maybe she'll adjust them a bit. For instance, just letting you go out with her friends, even if you break the gender segregation. But even if she doesn't, you should enjoy this vacation. What hobbies do you have? How do people pursue these hobbies in this different location? Hit up your hobbies and interests and plan some new time that'll be special and different due to this new location. Also check out museums, art, history, whatever most floats your boat. Time out is a good resource. If you don't know what museums are the best in that area, sometimes that random small museum is cooler than the big famous art gallery. Also check out a local or national park. Maybe you could rent a bike to visit the city/local park. LMAO, she literally told you what the trip was for and invited you to tag along. She told you she was planning to meet with friends and family. You assumed that meant you'd have 3 days with her. You actually get a day and a half, plus traveling together. That's not really her fault. That's the fault of an assumption you made. So you're going to a new place. Shift your mindset to this being a solo, during the day, vacation, and make the most of it. What can you go see on your own? Asterisk, are there museums you're interested in going to? Asterisk, are there shows or other events you want to do? Asterisk, are there restaurants or shops you want to explore? Asterisk, are there breweries or wineries you want to check out? And that's just the start. What other hobbies do you have? What places might help cater to those hobbies? A very specific example, I'm into fencing, so if I'm traveling, I look up if there's a local fencing club and see if they're interested in taking me in one evening. In other words, treat this as a trip where you are traveling together, but have time to each do your own thing. There's nothing in your post to suggest any of this was even slightly your GF's fault. She did tell me about her plans before I booked it. Sounds like this is all on you. Her breaking your trust is laughable. You sound exhausting. She was upfront about the plans then when you complained. Took responsibility for any miscommunication when there was none. You're almost 30. Learn to enjoy life by yourself. Go explore. Go meet new people. Do something you've never done in an area you've never been. For that, then why bother having a relationship? Be completely by yourself and your friends and just get FWBs when you need a booty call. One thing is a weekend with friends, a full week of a vacation and boyfriend is nowhere. I get it if it's a new relationship and thus it's not even there. But if this is an established relationship, dude, they are only acting like F*** buddies. It's the same as you having a boyfriend and finding out he's going to take a vacation with his mates for more than a weekend and you are only invited last minute. Not even introduced to the friends. Nada. You are just there. Not respectful in any sex. She's not even prepared for him to meet her family? Why then even mention the trip to him, lol. It sounds like you hemmed and hawed and bitched about her going alone until she finally invited your sad just for you to be upset about what her plans were. Just my take. That's a stretch. There's absolutely no evidence that says he had problems with her going alone. You could consider this a solo trip for yourself and explore/enjoy the trip. Start planning things you want to do and places you want to see rather than waiting around for your girlfriend to be available. When you see each other you can talk about the things you did. She made plans, you threw a wrench in those plans, and she's willing to change her plans for you. I don't get why you're upset. I totally get why you are bummed, and if this isn't a pattern it just sounds like a miscommunication. I don't understand how and why she broke your trust. It seems like she's trying to change her plans a bit with her cousin to help remedy the situation that's understandably bothering you, which seems like a caring and appropriate response, and yet you don't want that. I told her how I felt already, but what should I do? And what did she say about your being a total afterthought? She said she initially planned this as a solo trip, but wanted to extend an invite. She started making plans while I was still trying to figure out if I could financially afford it. She did tell me ahead of time that she made plans with friends and family, but I didn't realize how little time it would be. I don't have a friend here I can hang with, but he works during the weekday. After I told her, she took full responsibility for the miscommunication and said she should have been more clear about her plans. I needed to get out for my mental health since I'm in between jobs. Sounds like you were an afterthought. The choices you have are to go and make the best of it in your own company or not go at all. I think it's weird she wouldn't include you in activities. Not really. She booked this as a solo trip. She then asked if he would like to come. He said you go and enjoy yourself, so she made plans for herself. He then said actually I found a cheap ticket, so I want to come. He hadn't yet booked the flight. She said okay, but told him what her plans would be. He still decided to book the flight, but now wants her to change her plans. Definitely something you guys will need to talk about when you get home. It totally sucks, but solo travel is so fun and eye-opening. Try to salvage the rest of your trip and go out there and explore on your own. Go do things local to where you are going without her and her friends. Make them envious that they did not go with you. Or change your return flight and go home early.